Embarkation hubs are designated locations within a community or area where evacuees are received, registered, triaged, and transported out of a potential impact area. Embarkation hubs are established for anyone who is unable to self-evacuate. Local governments are responsible for identifying embarkation hub locations and any evacuee pickup points. They are also responsible for directing operations and providing transportation for critical needs evacuees, service and companion animals, as well as household pets from their homes and pickup points to embarkation hubs. Locations that are identified as embarkation hubs need to be coordinated with the Disaster District Committee and District Coordinator. Embarkation hubs may be used for air, ground, sea, or train evacuations. This video is for planning and coordination overview purposes and is not meant to be definitive and directive in nature to the state of Texas emergency management or local government operating procedures. When planning for the layout, staffing, and flow of the embarkation hub, the local agency responsible should consider the following criteria. All ingress and egress routes should be pre-established in a traffic management plan. This plan should be led by local law enforcement and should include a multidiscipline, multi-jurisdictional approach that includes local, state, and federal law enforcement, as well as fire, public works, public health, and emergency medical services. Collection and pickup points should be designated and operated by the local jurisdiction. Considerations for embarkation hub drop-off and departure, along with medical transportation routes, should also be considered in the traffic management plan. More details regarding the traffic management plan can be found in the Embarkation Hub Guide document. Be sure that there is plenty of parking for private vehicles, people with disabilities, waiting buses, and ambulances. The initial waiting area is a designated area for evacuees to stage prior to registration for transportation. Evacuees in the initial waiting area can be formed into groups or family units based on the conveyance type and how many it can hold. The preloading waiting area is an area where evacuees that have been registered, triaged, and identified may wait just prior to loading onto the conveyance. Any and all staging and waiting areas should have accessibility to restrooms and other facilities. The medical waiting area provides a location to stage evacuees identified in the screening process that require medical transportation. Cots, chairs, or other essentials should be provided for this area. The Embarkation Hub Incident Command Post should include decision-making capable representatives from all agencies assisting at the hub. It may include, but not limited to, personnel from Local Emergency Management, Texas Division of Emergency Management, Texas Military Department, or contracted conveyance coordinators. It should operate under a unified command concept. Local agencies will also want to make sure that there are staging areas for buses, ambulances, equipment, and any refueling that may be necessary. Food, water, and other necessary provisions should also be made available, as well as protective cover to avoid extended exposure to the elements. Once evacuees arrive at the embarkation hub, if they have not been pre-registered or pre-screened, shall go through a registration process. Evacuees should be asked to provide personal contact information in order to properly track them in the Texas Emergency Tracking Network, or ETN, or a functional equivalent while en route. Evacuee conveyances shall not depart the embarkation hub without an accurate manifest that identifies all passengers. It is preferred that a manifest be printed from ETN or its functional equivalent. However, any accurate list is permissible as long as it is duplicated and maintained in a master file for the duration of the event. A minimum of 2 copies shall be provided to the conveyance operator or responsible party that serves as an escort for the passengers. Medical triage and screening determines evacuee fitness for the most appropriate mode of transport. The primary responsibility for medical screening or triage is with the local jurisdiction. However, in those areas that do not have a local health authority, the responsibility may shift to the Department of State Health Services, or DSHS, or federal or military medical personnel assigned to assist. The emphasis should be that the medical screening occurs to ensure that evacuees have no urgent health needs, are fully ambulatory, and capable of self-care. Medical evacuees may require skilled medical care and are people that may or may not have disabilities or functional or accessibility needs. Identification of medical evacuees is critical at an embarkation hub to ensure medical evacuees are transported by the appropriate means.
For more information on planning for an embarkation hub, please refer to the Embarkation Hub Guide document, which can be obtained by sending an email to psc@soc.texas.gov.